director here. I just wanted to take a minute and welcome you all. A couple of housekeeping items. There is a restroom right around the corner. There's also concessions and merch available for sale after the show. We do have our next show coming next weekend and the following weekend called Curse of the Werewolf. This is the set for it, so you get a little preview. And hopefully you can all come out and see us. But I know you're not here to listen to me, so let's help me welcome Tony, Brian, and Kelsey with Scaredycast.
Welcome. Thank you so much for being here with us. This is our very first live podcast recording, and we are so excited that all of you guys could join us.
Wow, people showed up. You owe me $5.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Now, for anyone who's not familiar with Scaredycast, I'm Kelsey Dickerson. We have Brian. We have Tony. And we are a weekly podcast where if you are into podcasts or streaming, you can follow us on any of your streaming devices, including Apple, Spotify, and things like that. But we love talking about everything spooky, creepy, and just plain unexplainable today.
Yeah. So these guys actually started Scaredycast 5 years ago. Yeah. And only 4 months ago, maybe, I came in, but I'm a newbie. But hey, we're going up. Our listeners are going up. We're doing our first live show. So you know what? I'm taking some credit for that. But it was like an instant, like, love at first sight. Tony was like, yeah, you know, we do this thing, this little podcast, and I like Bigfoots and stuff. And I was like, I literally have a Bigfoot on my keychain, and I was like, bam. And he was like, hey, I'll have you on the podcast sometime. And I was like, a deal. And he's like, how about we just do the podcast? And I was like, oh my God, where have you been my whole life?
And now we're married.
And 9 months later, we had a boy.
Don't tell your girlfriends and wives.
Well, anyways, so
today we have a great show though for everybody.
Yeah, and our podcast, if you guys have listened to before, is sort of structured, not really. But today we have a little bit of guidance because we wanted to make it more of a show. We have some really fun stuff planned, and we're so excited that for our first show ever, like, you guys are here, and this is just like super cool for us. Like, I can't believe it. So
give it up for Jeff, cameraman
guy.
Jeff.
Woo, Jeff,
just
nice.
making sure.
Down in front.
Yeah. So where do we start?
Yeah, so the way that it's going to be structured a little bit, we would love to get your guys' input if anything creepy or weird has happened to you at the end of the show. But first, like Brian mentioned, every week we do kind of start with a little bit of banter back and forth. Tony usually has some great news stories for us to react to of weird things that have happened during the week.
Are you ready for it?
I don't think we're ready for it. Hopefully you guys have braced yourselves for this tonight. And then also we have some absolutely amazing guests that are going to join us, talk about paranormal, talk about their experiences as well. And then at the end, we will welcome you guys up to hopefully share some of your experiences, ask us some questions, or I don't know, maybe just if you want to boo us on the microphone, whatever you guys would like to do.
Any questions, whatever. Also,
1-star reviews, that's fine.
Hey, reviews are review, Do we also have the REM pod? Is that happening?
We do have a REM pod. We're gonna, if we might even do a little ghost investigation if maybe something's here with us. We don't know.
Yeah, so we'll see where the night takes us. We have some concessions back there, some merch and stuff like that. Thank you, Ghostlight Theatre, for hosting us and letting us be here. This is very, very cool. Let's get right into it, Tone.
Let's go. Let's do it.
All right. How many of you guys have actually listened to the podcast before? Okay, so a few. Okay. All right. So for those that haven't, this news stories, it'll give you a taste of what you're in for. In Gainesville, Texas.
I'm so glad we're not starting with a Florida story. That would go.
It's usually either Texas or Florida.
Yeah.
Is where you might just find the horniest haunting in America.
Oh.
I swear. This is what's being reported here.
That is quite the award, the horniest haunting in America.
Yeah, who judges that?
Yeah, what are the parameters?
There's a spooky homestead there in Texas owned by Linda Hill, and she just says that the hauntings there are very sexual. Ooh. There's no other way to put it.
All they get is
Well, she says that one time she was taking a shower when she noticed a dark figure peering through the shower curtain.
Okay.
And she heard the figure whisper, "Looking good."
Oh, come on.
You know what? It could have been way worse. What if they were like, hey?
Well, she thought it was her husband until her husband actually walked in. And then she was like, "Oh, wait, that was not my husband." But they have said that they've also heard whisperings throughout the house, like, oh, baby, yeah.
Okay.
And the whispers of, "Yeah, I like it like that."
Okay.
Okay, Cardi B's in the house?
Yeah,
or
what
what's
is
going
this?
on?
Now, on the history of this homestead, it was originally built in the 1840s and served as a brothel.
There you go. I was going to say, this got to be like a disco or something.
A disco?
That like shut down. That's what they say. Like, oh, you know, it's like funky, you know?
Okay.
That's just me, I guess.
That's just what you call disco clubs?
Yeah, whatever.
But it is up for rent if anybody wants to stay the night in a horny
I'm down.
homestead.
You know what? If you're ever feeling like lonely or bad about yourself, you can go there, take a shower, you know, have someone hit on you. I don't know who it's going to be, but
hey, nobody wants to date you living, but maybe someone from the, you know, maybe one of the dead.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, what you got going on?
It's like, you know, a little boost. It's like a little.
Yeah, I'll take it. Compliment's a compliment, man. Dead or alive. I don't care.
You know, I think we need a shower, Brian, with some compliments. This is really.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. That's all I need.
Wait, okay. So it was a brothel when did it close? Do you know?
They don't say, yeah.
Okay.
It was 1840s whenever it was opened.
So it's only like the patrons that were there that are doing the hauntings. It's not any of the people that used to work there? Because I can't. Well, maybe it might be as well.
I guess not. I don't know. They didn't go into that. It does sound like it's maybe the patrons there. They do say there was a murder there.
Oh, that'll do it.
Okay.
A 19-foot well was found built under the house.
Oh, wells are always creepy. If you have a well on your property, I think you just have to go with the fact that
that's where the bodies are.
Yeah, it's
kind of like if people own pigs, because the pigs will eat a body like in a day or something, and you'll have no trace.
If you ever get a pig, I'm gonna be really worried.
Now you know. I just gave away my secret.
You know what? Fun fact. I don't know how true this is, so maybe it's a semi-fact, but I believe in Arizona there are laws against brothels still. So that's why sororities and colleges can't technically live on campus in a sorority, because I think it's like you can't have more than 5 or 10 women living together in a single like household.
Right.
I didn't know that was
Wild West, y'all.
Huh. I've never heard of that before.
What you
Someone
got?
fact checked me.
I don't have. Okay, so if anybody knows me, I'm into Bigfoot. I don't believe he's real, but I want to believe. Man, I want him to be real.
We're going to find him one day.
But one day. Maybe it'll be us.
Yeah.
Scaredycast is going to expose it. Yeah. But I have this story that I was like, what? Now, I've never had an experience myself, but because I am now in Scaredycast, one of these days I would love to go on a little hunt for the hairy man himself. Would you come with?
I would be a little worried. Okay, so there's definitely different versions of Bigfoot, right?
Oh my God, there's like 800,000. Like everywhere has, and some of these I will go over. Some of them are a little goofy. But there's basically, like every country, every continent, there is different versions of a Bigfoot, a Sasquatch, a Yeti, Yowie, whatever. There's 1.5 million names.
So are you only a fan of the OG Bigfoot? That's like, or you like all of the variations?
All inclusive. No, it's 2022. I don't discriminate.
Isn't there one actually in Arizona that has this?
There is. And so that's interesting you mentioned that, because this is near Prescott. You guys are all from Arizona, right? Like Prescott. How do you say it?
Prescott.
I've lived here my whole life and I don't know.
Prescott.
Okay, Prescott. So Yavapai County, Arizona. This is from November of 2007. Listen to the story. And I was like, oh, okay, we found one here. And there is rumors of a desert Bigfoot, which I don't know. Nothing can. Well, we survive here, but
what do you mean?
Yeah. So this person, I think, went on and posted this anonymous story, but I want to read this because it's pretty crazy.
Are you sure it wasn't you that posted this anonymously?
I don't know. You'll never know. So this guy says, hello, I'm writing to your website because of some strange goings on about the place I own out here in the Yavapai County, Arizona. We have the remnants of what used to be a working ranch from from years ago. Some livestock left in from those days, a few horses, a few Brahma. I don't know what that is. A couple of goats out there, and Longhorn. I won in a bar fight in Mexia down in Limestone County, Texas. And recently we think we have a Bigfoot around. We used to winter horses for people around these parts who were snowbirds, but no more because of the mystery disappearances that happen there. In fact, lots of mysterious things like that happen around the place, especially as fall nears and the weather cools. Like September, October, November, nothing happens in the summer out here. One notable incident was the disappearance of one of my best dogs, part pit bull / shepherd mix. He wasn't afraid of anything and was a great watchdog for the lower pasture. He guarded the grazing stock and 2 sheep we used to have and the goats from local mountain lions and bobcats. So good boy. Now, you may say the dog wandered off, but he was 10 years old and never left the site of the main house. He was a devoted dog. Some have said a bear came in from the forest at night and took him, but my middle son found him exactly 14 feet up in the crotch of a pinyon pine tree with his neck snapped.
Oh my God.
No teeth marks found, no bear claw marks, no mountain lion tears, just a broken neck and tossed up into that tree. Or if not tossed up, someone must have put the dog's body up on that pinion, which my son had trouble reaching. We all tried to explain, but to no avail. Now on to the sheep. I bartered with a half... I'm not going to say that. I bartered with someone for a ram and a ewe and had them down in the grazing along with the stock, horses, goats, and such. We only had them a short while and they disappeared. For a while, we thought the previous owner snuck back here, loading up the 2 and carried them off. But my wife ran into the fellow in the hardware store in town and talked to him about the disappearance. He came home that day with my wife, and together we went out looking for a sign. We found nothing that day, and I didn't believe anything had to do with the sheep disappearance. He told me a far out story that got me thinking, though, which is why I looked up Bigfoot on the internet. Anyways, he told me a place up in the Sierra Prieta Ponderosa Forest, which is in the Yavapai... where this Yavapai Indian woman ran her small flock of sheep in the company of her young cousin, a blue merle coolie, and a border collie that kept her flock together at night, fending off attacks by mountain lions and bobcats. Sometimes wolverines. This one season, the woman and her cousin were bringing the flock down off the mountain grazing. It was late October and snows were expected. She said she was not feeling well and laid down in a grassy meadow to rest, but woke up when she heard the sheep bleeding. Her cousin yelling and the dogs loudly onto something. The women shepherder said she got to her feet in time to see her 2 dogs biting at the heels of a big, hairy man.
Oh, no.
As he ambled off, escaping with a big ewe under his arm, the hairy man tried to fend off the biting dogs, kicked the one coolie dog all to hell. This might be what befell my dog. She called off the dogs and watched the hairy man disappear into the pine trees with his prize. He explained the hairy man to her was what we call Bigfoot or Sasquatch. She only told the story once to an elder and she won't speak of it anymore, but she mentioned that they come down from the north in winter. And then I'll skip ahead to the last little part. He says, we worked the horses around this area and around the thick brush. Soon we came to a stream and stopped to gather our bearings and water the horses. Dismounting, I thought I heard someone cough. I asked and nobody heard it but me. My horse jerked up, snorted, and became uneasy, sensing something none of us could see. The other mounts followed. All of us were focusing on keeping the horses under control as they danced about, bucking, kicking, and snorting. My sons thought mountain lion. I wasn't sure. We stood together by the stream listening, calming the horses when the dogs started looking towards the thickest of tangled brush. Then the barking started in earnest and they took off. Still, we couldn't see anything, but by now we all expected the dogs to tree a mountain lion. We couldn't follow, the brush was too thick, but the dog noise seemed to end about 20 yards into the thick brush and brambles. We kept calling and calling. Finally, the dogs returned and then took off again. Pretty soon, the dogs returned with tongues hanging out, breathing heavy. We leashed the dogs up and took them and led the horses back down to the stream. The dogs settled down some, but the horses didn't, as we were making an effort to saddle up again. Then, this is when it happened. There came this howl that lengthened into a scream that at first sounded like... I don't know what does anyone know what a Brahma is?
Save the Brahma for
Brahma. A Brahma?
Bull?
A bull. Okay.
A Brahma bull. The Rock.
The what?
The Rock.
Dwayne Johnson?
Dwayne Johnson. He was the Brahma Bull.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So
you could have saved a lot of confusion if you would have jumped
just
in
said the Rock.
beginning.
So now this guy said the scream that first sounded like a Brahma fart, which now I'm just going to say sounded like the Rock farting.
Yeah.
A low.
Don't get us excited now, all right? Like, come on. What kind of show is this?
Can you smell? Oh,
that's what he meant.
So it was low and guttural and drug out, ending up into a high pitched drone like a woman screaming bloody murder. My body reacted with a chill and goosebumps, mainly because the scream was coming from very close, somewhere in that thicket of brambles where the dogs had been. The scream was long and kind of dragged out, the kind of noise that gets your attention really fast. Then it got quiet. Not a sound, no birds, no crickets, no nothing. Everything was very still except for the horses. The dogs were now cowering between my legs and their ears pricked toward the thicket. Then in the distance, we heard another scream. It must have come across from the next valley. Now we're figuring there's fixing to be 2 of these Bigfoot, and I felt fear for the first time. The dogs started whining. My grown boys hurriedly saddled up. We followed and took off down the trail, heading at a full gallop all the way home a good hour later. I've never heard anything like that vocalization before, and I've heard plenty of coyote, wolves, elks, but nothing like that before. And it wasn't any mountain lion. It was 4 times as powerful. If that was a warning from Bigfoot, we got the message.
Whew.
So
quite the story.
Here's the thing. Like I said, I don't believe that Bigfoot for sure exists, but just hearing that story, if any of you have been camping, especially at night when there is
Pitch
nothing,
black.
there's no cars, there's no neighbors, it's just deathly quiet. If I hear any scream, I'm packing up and going home.
I was going to say at the end, he's like, oh, it wasn't just one Bigfoot. Maybe there's 2. That's where I draw the line. I'm like, I think if you even have an idea or an inkling that something supernatural, maybe it's a Bigfoot, maybe not, something screaming like a Brahma or whatever.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like the Rock.
Yeah. At what point screaming, do you guys?
Can you smell? Just like, time to go.
You just get called a jabroni from the brush. Huh?
We don't talk about jabronis. Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Oh God.
Okay. No, but seriously, obviously you put so much investment into, he bought a ranch. He has this business where
all these animals,
his family's out there. At what point do you draw the line? I feel like one of the biggest frustrations for me when you see like a scary movie or something like that, it's like, why don't they just leave? But then you break it down and you're like, well, logistically, they have a $300,000 mortgage. They just moved their family across.
It's like,
town.
oh, we bought all these acres to be away from people. And then all of a sudden your dog is up in a tree with its neck snapped. Like no human just does that.
Which also, you should have given us a trigger warning. That's really sad.
Sorry.
One of the saddest stories.
It happens. Actually, I think 2 podcasts ago, I had 2 more dog stories with Bigfoot.
I don't think I was on that one.
Yeah, luckily. No, you were in Europe still. But anyways, so the more and more I listen to and look up Bigfoot stuff, like, oh my God, just terrifying. I mean, these things, like there's chimpanzees, which are like smaller than us, but can like rip people's faces off without trying, which has happened. And so it's like, imagine something that's 9 foot tall. Well, like what could that do
with that strength? So why, for anyone that's not familiar with your obsession with Bigfoot, even though you don't technically believe in it, what started it for you? Like, was it just hearing all these stories and just like what?
I was home alone.
Oh no.
My parents, it's like the
you heard, hey baby, coming from the I was taking a brothel in Texas.
Yeah. No, I was at home alone, and I remember watching a TV show when I was a kid. My parents were at like a dinner thing. I was home alone. I think I was 10, 12. And there was this show on the Outdoor Life Network, and it was called Bigfoot Encounters. And I was like, okay, it was stupid. And then I watched it and was like, oh, okay, this is kind of interesting. And they were like, go to this website, southernbigfoot.com. And I was like, whatever. I was like, this is kind of cool, because they had like all the night vision and all like the creepy, oh, did you hear that? And I was like, oh, okay. 10-year-old me is like, I'm interested. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. So I go down this rabbit hole. I'm like, everything I'm watching, I'm just like inching closer and closer to my computer screen, and I'm listening. And if you guys, I'm telling you, go home. If you guys aren't like scared of Bigfoot or don't care, there's vocalizations of these things screaming, howling, that are just like, they're near demonic, and it's absolutely like just, oh, it gives you chills. So I'm infatuated. I can't peel my eyes away. I'm like, oh my God, look at this picture. And I'm listening to, I'm turning up my speakers and I'm listening to this. And then I realize I'm home alone and all the lights are off because it was day when I started. And I was like, where did the time go? So then I'm like shimmying, like hugging the walls, trying to like flick the light switches on throughout my whole house. I was terrified. And then I told my dad about it. And he kind of got into it and was like, oh, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And then it's just like, I was captivated with how sometimes people are like, oh yeah, he's like cool, like Harry and the Hendersons. And then other times people are like, yeah, he ripped my dog in half. And I'm just like, and I have to know more.
Why does it always gotta be a dog?
There was a story about one in Sedona that this lady heard a bunch of noise in her barn. Yeah. Came out the next morning and the horses had their manes ripped off.
Man,
I don't know what does that, but
Bigfoot needs to chill out.
Yeah, like he needs
especially
to.
The Arizona Bigfoots.
Hey, dude, weed is legal now. Bigfoot, chill out, dude.
Yeah,
hit up a dispensary, like just like braid his hair, just put some beads in it.
Bigfoot comes out with like some dreadlocks and beads, like
one of those big old like dread.
Yeah, he just wanted to make like a wig for himself.
Hey, whatever it takes, man. But he's out here messing people up.
Okay, so if Bigfoot is real or any version of Bigfoot, what do you believe it is? Do you believe it's a now mostly extinct creature? I was actually just watching this show with William Shatner. He has this new show. It's really interesting. Unexplained, yes. And he was talking about how there's Neanderthal DNA now that are linked to humans when we thought that all the Neanderthals were dead. So it could open up the door for creatures like Bigfoot actually being a thing, as well as giants and different things that we have in folklore.
There's also a ton of people that have claimed to see like orbs or have other sort of like paranormal or like extraterrestrial alien. There's maybe some weird connection there. The thing is, there's so many stories from all over the world. Some of them are probably legends. Of course, people are hoaxing it, making things up. But can every one of the thousands and thousands and thousands of people, can all of them be wrong? Like, if anyone here has had an experience that you're like, nah, no one's going to believe me. Like, I had one of those and I can't explain it. You can believe me or not, it's not that crazy far-fetched, but at the same time, it's like, I know that is my truth. And a lot of people always say, like, I know what I saw. You can believe me or not. Yeah. And some people, they'd want to stay kind of under the radar because people think they're crazy and they'll be ridiculed for it. And some people go to the grave not telling their stories. And it's really sad because, it's up to you to believe what you want. But I don't know. He could be anything. And that's why I don't believe in aliens, but I want to. I don't believe in ghosts, but I want to. I don't believe in Bigfoot, but man, do I want to.
You're on the perfect podcast for that then.
Yes. Because I love everything weird. And I think anything is possible. And that's kind of where I'm at. I'm fascinated because we have no idea.
That's very true. And we're going to be talking about with some people of like what you mentioned of you, like, they're a little bit more sensitive and open to these things. And it's so true when there's hundreds, thousands of stories like this, you can't negate that. Like, it may not be explainable, but there's so many things in life that aren't truly explained yet. Even when if it comes to like scientific findings and things that are more accepted, I guess, in life.
Yeah. And so, one day maybe we'll know, maybe we won't. But until then, I'm going to enjoy reading these stories because like, whoo, they're creepy.
In the future, can we have some with less animal destruction, please? Because
ask Bigfoot, man. I don't write them. I just read them. Find a story about stoner Bigfoot. I'm into that now. Yeah, maybe.
Just like one time I was we were camping and this Bigfoot just walks out. He just sits down next to us and goes, sup.
So yeah, we were out at Burning
started eating all of our potato chips.
I was at Coachella and Bigfoot showed up and was like, yo, dude.
His hair is like tie-dye with like berry juice and like bleach and stuff.
Yeah. So that is kind of my thing. I love cryptids. I love monsters. If anyone doesn't know what a cryptid is, it's a monster or a creature that is basically hasn't been documented yet, hasn't been proven that its existence is, that it exists. So anything cryptids from all kinds of monsters and werewolves, or what they call dogman. I love that stuff. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm always watching and reading, and I have a few that I actually want to share. That some are creepy, some are funny, from all over the world.
Okay, lay it on us.
Okay, all right.
Shoot.
Lay it on.
I'm really into the Rougarou lately.
What's the Rougarou?
The Rougarou is the werewolf of New Orleans.
Oh,
New Orleans.
Yeah. Have you ever been? You have been.
I have to New Orleans.
I've never been to New Orleans.
No,
I would love to.
I wish.
Oh, we need to do ghost hunts there. Oh my god,
absolutely incredible.
That place has so many stories.
Rougarou. I thought it was going to be an Aussie.
That's
such a bad accent.
That's the Yowie.
The Yowie. The Yowie is the.
Is Dan from Down Under here?
Did he come all the way up from Australia?
He said if he won the lottery, he was going to fly her. Dan from Down Under has been a listener since like day one. And he's always been around. He's amazing.
So why is the Rougarou your number one right now?
Why?
I just like that word.
Oh, so there's
Rougarou, Yowie, like those are cool words.
They're fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
There is something called there's something called the Monkey Man of Delhi, and no, not like the sandwich place, but like the capital
Delhi?
of India.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That it was this creature that used to jump. If you look at how a lot of their like houses are laid out, they're very close, and they're like there's not much room between them. You can literally jump from rooftop to rooftop. So apparently there was this thing that looked like a monkey, was covered in hair, and it would jump from roof to roof and reach in through people's windows and take their children. Like, how do you explain that to the cops?
What if it was just a monkey?
Yeah, aren't they doing that in I think like Japan or something? Monkeys are actually taking toddlers and children.
There was like all that video of like there's like a video of like just kid on the street chilling, and this monkey runs up and grabs him by the leg and takes off, and he's like dragging the kid behind him.
Ooh, that's pretty awful.
Could you imagine?
Don't go there.
No, I mean
maybe it's like a real life Mowgli, like Jungle Book situation.
Yeah, true. There also is reports of the Monkey Man from New Delhi, covered in black hair with a metal helmet, metal claws, glowing red eyes, and 3 buttons on its chest.
What?
Also, some claim that the Monkey Man wore roller skates.
Now I'm in.
Okay.
Now I'm invested in the monkey.
So we got a monkey somewhere in New Delhi, and he is roller skating rooftop to rooftop, stealing children.
Metal claws, metal helmet, on roller skates.
I'm thinking
with
like
a baby in like behind him, and he's like, this is my favorite cryptid now.
Yeah, that's why I'm like
Rougarou.
Come on,
he trained a Sonic, just waiting for the day to skate on rooftops and steal babies.
Others, however, what?
Keep going. Sorry.
Others, however, describe the Monkey Man as having a more vulpine snout, so more like a dog, more pronounced, and being up to 8 feet tall and muscular. It would leap from building to building. Okay. I don't know about you, but if any 8-foot thing is jumping from rooftops and you hear it on my roof, oh my God. I don't care if it's wearing roller skates.
And he's roller skating.
I'm not going to be like, oh, that's funny.
Who made the roller skates?
Nope, I'm out.
Like the roller skates got to be this big.
Shaq is out in New Delhi.
Like Shaquille O'Neal.
Jumping rooftop to rooftop, stealing kids.
He does have a lot of business ventures. So
I see right there's the in popular culture tab. Where has there been movies made about
Yes, 2009 Bollywood films. There is, I'm not even going to try and explain that, or try and sound that out. The Monkey Man has never been caught on tape, so that's always like, okay, yeah, I don't believe that.
Okay, but also if he's in an area where maybe not everyone has access to technology, that could be very explainable. How many stories?
He's got 3 buttons on his stomach, so maybe he's got a little bit of technology. He's like Darth Vader.
He stole all the technology.
He's Darth Vader?
Well, I mean, he's got the button, like a little box,
The Monkey Man has buttons on his chest?
Yeah, that's what he said. 3 buttons and roller skates.
What?
Look, I'm just reading, man. I didn't make this up, okay? There's also something called red cap, which is a type of malevolent, murderous goblin found in border folklore. I don't know. Oh, Anglo-Scottish. He is said to inhabit ruined castles, especially those that were the scenes of tyranny or wicked deeds, and is known for soaking his cap in the blood of his victims.
Does he got anything?
He just has a red cap, and he's called Red Cap, and he's basically I basically picture a garden gnome that just creates
Okay.
trouble.
A Scottish garden gnome.
Yeah, he's
vigilante.
just kind of a thing, but it's one of those things that have been around for generations and generations. So red cap is out there. Then there's more terrifying ones like the dog man that tears people apart. And, you know, it's crazy. So, look, if you Google cryptids, you'll find everything. Sea ones, thunderbirds, they're giant birds in the air. Some go back thousands of years. Some go back 10, 20. There has been some new cryptids that have been come out, you know, but I got to know more about this roller skating monkey man.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of impressive. If there's an 8-foot guy rolling like roller skating on top of my roof, I'd be like, all right, maybe you do deserve a baby.
I'd be like, hey, take my kid. Like,
yeah, you're like, you know, like, you
I'm
worked really
impressed.
hard for that.
You're obviously going to teach him better skills than me. So.
yeah, like, keep doing you, man. Like,
The center of gravity that he must have to be able to do that.
The athleticism.
yep.
My kid will grow up to be in the NBA or something. And if he stays with me, he's probably just going to grow up to play video games. And
Yeah, maybe he's just training.
Roller skate.
He's like an
He's not
army of
roller
children,
skating.
yeah, for the Olympics.
Yeah, who
he's
knows?
just training them for.
I'll tell you right now, I have
Yes,
2
come.
kids. Neither of them can roller skate. So
Yeah.
So maybe you need
Can
to
they
have a
steal
talk with them.
kids? Can they steal babies?
no, they can't do that either. They can't leap from rooftop to rooftop. Nothing.
Man, no buttons.
They just
No
hang
buttons
out.
on their chest. Have you checked?
I want to know what these buttons are about on the Monkey
know.
Man.
I know.
dude.
Maybe it helps like it was like Nos, like for his like skates to like
Yeah, his little
just, like,
power.
get on there. Yeah.
Nos?
Pretty cool. Who knows?
I have never heard of that before. That is wild.
So I know Tony here is terrified of the ocean. Is anyone here else like terrified of like deep, dark ocean?
Yeah, dude.
Or things that existed in, or not even just the things that it maybe inhabit, but literally just empty space of water.
And it's like it's the deep ocean, but it's also just like whenever I'm watching Deadliest Catch, there was an episode of Deadliest Catch, and they had like, oh, there's a problem on the bottom of the boat. Anytime I see a bottom of a boat from underwater, that is the most terrifying thing in the world.
Like
to
in
me.
Finding Nemo
was
when
just
he
gonna
touches
say-
the butt.
Yes, like all of that. It's just, I don't know why that's so scary, but it's just like, oh my God, that's the
It's a
underneath
little
of the
baby
boat.
fish and he touches the butt.
I think it's just because it's up there and like the camera's pointed up at that, and it's like I don't know what's down here.
I don't want to shame you for being afraid of that, but Finding Nemo is a beautiful movie.
I mean,
I don't know why you were actually like, oh my God. Wow.
It's
See, I'm
all right.
afraid of sharks. I'm not afraid of.
Oh yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, I'm totally afraid. I never would go in the ocean
So
for
what do
no reason.
we talk about stuff that we are scared of, and so what are you afraid of? Like what goes? Oh no, I'm out. Like I'm not doing that.
Oh my gosh, everyone's going to judge me. First of all, I just want to say you probably have a bigger chance of getting attacked by a Bigfoot than a shark. We don't sharkate here. Sharks they get a bad rep.
Yeah, but we know sharks exist.
yeah,
Do
and
we?
they eat
Yeah.
people.
Do we?
Yeah, and dogs.
Okay, I have the most irrational fear of zombies. I know that the likelihood of this happening is slim to none, but it's not none. It's not none for sure.
So you're saying there's a chance?
So I'm saying there's a chance. When I saw the Dawn of the Dead remake in the early 2000s, I just imagined all of these hundreds of thousands of living dead coming at you. You can't get 7 billion bullets. You're not surviving that. Like, I just know that shows them like surviving for like a few months
Yeah.
or whatever, but you're not surviving. You're not outrunning a zombie.
You know how many Americans right now are like, bet.
Well, not me. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be like, I either want to be patient zero of a zombie and like
Just
everyone
kill
just
me.
hates me.
Just kill me. Yeah.
No, but that is my
Zombies,
irrational
like
fear of
an
zombies.
actual zombie apocalypse.
I used to have, not even kidding, like 3 to 4 nightmares of zombies a week. I know it's like so crazy.
Oh my God, no,
but
like I'm
yeah.
actually sorry. That's terrifying. I was scared of them when I was a kid, but now there's so much pop culture, so I'm like, whatever. But like,
Yeah,
aw.
I think it was like at the beginning of when it started to become more popularized.
Yeah, yeah.
And before, zombies were pictured as they're very slow moving and like not very smart. And now, like, you know, this
Yeah.
idea of a zombie has evolved. And I don't think it's that far. Obviously, we have like versions of zombies that are not quite like what we think about in the horror world, but you know, things can happen. Like, you know, someone could be.
If like the zombie apocalypse kicked off, do you have a plan?
Me?
Kelsey.
Oh,
My plan
I mean, she has like her number one fear is zombies. So I just assumed like I'm going straight to Walmart and
stocking up
here, and then I'm going to this and this. Like, you have where would you go?
Or are you one of those people that's like, I got one gun and one bullet, I'm ending it?
No, I would try.
You would try and survive? You'd fight
I would
through
try. I don't think I'd be very successful. I can't even run for 2 minutes. So I don't think that's going to happen for me.
We're screwed.
Yeah.
I think I would try to wait it out in my house for like a week or two, like fill up my tub with water, try to like just be in a very secluded spot. But I have no weapons. I have no survival training.
Man.
But, maybe I could like become like the leader of the zombies or something somehow. Maybe I can come up with like, a monkey man suit and like have like some mind
monkey man suit would survive.
Yeah, I bet you zombies couldn't keep up with you on roller skates.
Yeah.
Especially if you're jumping from roof to roof.
Yeah, right.
Great.
This show is going off the rails.
It's going off the rails. So I think we need to have someone join us to help us get us back on track. Without further ado, I would love to introduce you guys to the beautiful Zippora. She is going to join us.
Welcome, Zippora.
So Zippora has a lot of absolutely amazing paranormal stories. We were talking with her about a week or two ago about some of her experiences, and she's been so kind enough to join us to share them with you and share them with us today. So welcome, Z.
Thank you so much. And first of all, thank you guys so much for having me, and congrats on this being your first live show. That is super exciting, and I'm excited to be part of it.
Now, for anyone who's not familiar, what would you say, like, how would you explain would you say it's a gift? Would you say it's something that you've honed in? What would you explain to anyone who's not sure what you've been through or your sensitivities?
So I more so just feel energy like very strongly, and I always have. I was around it a lot as a kid, I guess. Like, it was very normalized. The paranormal was not so much like something to be feared, but just another part of life. So I think going into it at a young age, being aware of it in that way, like, it was never like, oh no, like I'm scared or anything like that. It was like, oh, it's just another, energy. It's everywhere. It's everything. So kind of like that.
What would you say, like, how old were you when you first either noticed this, or maybe did you have someone in your life that talked to you through it? What was like the beginning of you noticing like, oh, maybe I might have something here. Maybe I can notice things that other people maybe don't, or they're shut off from?
So my first experiences, I actually started working at a castle in Manitou Springs, Colorado, and it had been a children's like hospital that had burned down. So there was a lot of children's spirits around in that area. So we had represented the castle, and the castle kind of represented like trying to help kids at that point to kind of like remake that name and rebuild just a very positive ground there. But there were a lot of children's spirits. So while working there, you would start to have those experiences. And I was very young when I started that. So like I would have pictures with orbs all around me as a kid. So it was just seeing those. It was so fascinating, and hearing about them. And the lady that ran the castle was very open about talking about it and kind of explaining, no, they're not to be feared. They're just kids. Like they're scared. So, me being a kid as well, I was like, oh, like, I understand that, let me try to communicate with you. And that kind of escalated from there of like, oh, this is possible.
Oh man.
What would you say, like, not necessarily your scariest, but your most like intense, like what's the most intense thing that's happened at the castle?
So at the castle, one of the most intense things, I was actually down, there was like a doll room. And so the doll room was split. There was dolls, and then there was also like a firefighter section. So I went down there. I know it was like a weird setup.
Did they have clowns too?
No, thankfully.
Dolls and firefighters just don't go like hand in hand for me, but you never know.
Yeah.
We don't judge here on
right?
Scaredycast. Yeah. I mean, I have a firefighter room.
Me too.
Dolls in there. It'll be fine. But yeah, down in that room, I think I was like 6 or 7. So I was still pretty young. I went down in there, and I started introducing myself because I had heard that there was a lot of activity in there. So like when everyone else was up doing adult things, I was like, I'm going to go play. So I ran down there, and I started, I introduced myself. I was like, hello, my name is Zippora. Is anyone down here? Like, I would love to communicate with you if there's any children. And so like in the doll room, there was display cases. So there was a little rocking chair and it started to rock. And so I saw that and I was like, and then like I felt just this heavy energy around me. And so I was like, okay, something's here. So I start like continuously talking, just kind of, you know, as a little kid would, you're just like, okay, you know, what else? And then a fire alarm went off. And so that was the point. As soon as that went off, I booked it. I was like, okay, I'm kidding. No, thank you. So
like the ones that they had in school that like hurt, they're so loud.
No. Like, and honestly, that's where it wasn't super loud, but also I was panicking. So I think the panic was like that. But yeah, so it was down there. So somebody had to come shut it off. And then whenever I went to go talk to the lady that kind of like ran the castle, she was like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. Like they're just playing, and kind of just like calmed it down. But I think that was like the first incident that I had that was like, oh my gosh, okay, this is a thing.
Hey, well, you know what, Ghost? It's still legal. All right, you little brat. Don't be pulling the fire alarm.
I know. What's up with that?
Especially with the history. I mean, I don't know. Do you think it was a playful thing? You said that you felt a heavy energy. Is that...
So maybe heavy was not the right word, but definitely because like I didn't feel afraid, but in the same sense, being young, there's that slight fear, like once you hear a loud noise where it's just that shock factor. But I did get a very like not a harmful energy. There was only one point in the castle that I had felt just like a dark energy, and I had looked up and there was it was up in the like army fatigue room. Like there was different memorial stuff for different people who had passed, and in the window there was just a dark shadow figure. And I remember my mom was there with me and I was like, Mom, there's something in that window. And she looked up and she's like, and the castle was closed at that point, so everyone had lights out, you know, closed everything up, but there was just that figure standing in the window, and then it had gone. So that was the only point where I felt just like that doesn't feel right.
Okay.
Man, you are much braver than I. You as a little girl is much more braver than I. Like,
honestly, I don't think I could now. Little me was just like, oh yeah, what could go wrong? Let's make friends.
And they're like, okay.
Yeah, they're like, I'll be your friend.
So as you've gotten older, obviously this experience, you were young, you were in a space where a huge tragedy has happened. So of course it's probably going to, and you were open to it as well. As you've grown older, what have you noticed? Do you still have these types of stories? Do you still get feelings like this? Like what has been your experience like more recent?
So as of more recent, up where I lived, there was a lot of history as well with, you know, there was a lot of battlegrounds and a lot of just bloodshed on the land. So I started experiencing a lot of things whenever I had moved there. And I actually ended up like saying, I don't want to talk to them anymore. I don't want any part of this anymore, because I did start having like heavier, darker experiences that I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing. I don't want to get involved with anything too dark, but I do have orbs that sometimes follow me. So like I have a video of me and an orb flew past me and I looked out my window and I was like, like I kind of feel like there's a neighbor out. Like I feel like I'm being watched. And then I replayed the video because I was doing like a hair video or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's an orb. And directly after I was like, I feel like someone is here. Ooh. So I do have that. And that was a little bit more recent. And then, yeah, like I'll go on vacation and like take a couple photos and I'm like, oh, look, there's orbs with me. Like, I feel like orbs are a very light energy though. Like I don't feel a dark heaviness from them, at least in my experiences with the ones that I have. So
I know I was going to ask, for anyone who's not maybe familiar with an orb or what it might signify, what in your mind is that to you? You said it's like a more light energy, more welcome energy?
Yes, for sure. I view orbs as just like not harmful entities, whatever you want to call it. And I've actually learned this little secret that's kind of creepy. If you do take a picture of an orb, you can zoom in and sometimes see the face of whoever it might be.
Oh, so you guys are learning stuff here, right? If you see an orb in your picture, scroll in at your own discretion.
Yes.
If you want to see it.
So a lot of people communicate with ghosts using Ouija boards, or they attempt to. Is that something that you've ever dabbled in? Have you ever tried?
She's always shaking her head. No,
like absolutely not. But I'm just saying that is a common thing that most people are like, let's just try. Let's communicate. Or are you moving it? No, are you moving it? And some people are like, yeah, this is real. Like I never touch it. Some people are like, yeah, I do it sometimes. It's like a seance. It's like no big deal. What's your take on that?
I personally have never used a Ouija board. I do believe that it is not safe and not a good way to connect. If you're able to connect, I don't think that you need that kind of realm to help like butt into it. Because then I think at that point you're welcoming probably not the right spirits that you want to be talking to in the first place. Like if you have a loved one that you want to talk to, I think that all of us have the ability to kind of connect with that a lot easier than we would ever think. So it's just more so. Yeah,
so
I don't mess with
you
them.
definitely think there's like a power there. Like there's something that unlocks. Yeah, there's something there.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, cool.
Did you see on the news? It was like a week ago or so. This old lady, this like grandma had passed, and everybody got to their funeral, and the grandma had made these cards, and you open the card up, and at the top is her picture, and it says "Let's keep in touch," and at the bottom's a little tiny Ouija board.
Oh my gosh!
I swear to God, it's like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm stealing that. I can't wait to die now and do that.
Yeah,
it's gonna
That's
be so
like your
funny.
thing now.
Oh man, just leave me your number, dude. Leave me your Ouija board.
Let me know how it goes. All right.
Oh my gosh. Tony, have you ever done a Ouija board?
No.
I feel like no.
I haven't either.
I don't know why. I feel like you would like be the one to be like, yeah, whatever.
No.
No, all
I'm
right.
good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would either. Like it's one of those things is like I don't even want to even if there's a chance that I could be like, hey demons, what's up? It's me, your boy. Like I'm good.
You're boys with demons. That's not a surprise.
Yeah, if there's a chance that I could be, I don't even want to. No, I'm not gonna risk it.
I agree. So before we get too far down that rabbit hole, just really quick, Z, for anyone, you did say like if we're using a Ouija board, maybe that's not welcoming the right sort of thing. But what do you do when you maybe want to get in that spot? Maybe you want to get in that realm where you're like open to energies or possibly like, feeling people. Is there anything special that you do? Does it just come to you?
So it depends on the place. Like if I'm actively looking for it, then I do kind of set intentions. Like I'm only willing to connect to, lighter entities, spirits, that kind of thing. I don't want to deal with anything dark, demonic, only what is here to benefit my well-being and others. So I kind of set those boundaries and then just kind of at that point trust that whatever needs to come is going to come in that moment, and just very strict on that aspect because
So besides like ghost stuff, do you believe in like aliens, cryptids, other things besides like spirits?
Oh yeah, I definitely think that the world is so diverse and there's no way that it's just us living here. So I think that there's also the possibility of like, different realms and worlds and all these things that are just constantly
like dimensional travel and
just like constantly coinciding. So it's like, I don't know. There's no way that it's just us for sure.
Yeah. That's kind of like how as long as you keep an open mind, and a lot of people will be like, oh, that never happened. It's like, look, even though I'm a skeptic, I still believe that people have these experiences. I might not believe, it's like, well, I don't know. I can't say, yes, aliens exist. Yes, Bigfoot exists. But if someone's like, this big hairy thing came, did this thing, and I'm like, okay.
Like that was just me. It's been a long winter.
Yeah.
I haven't shaved in a few months. It's all shaved November. Yeah.
God. Nothing, Tone. He's like, good.
Still trying to process Monkey Man rollerblades. Man.
That actually was me. I went to India actually.
Oh yeah.
And now I have an army of children.
Is that where you went those few months?
She's skating across the rooftops in New Delhi.
That's what that's what I do in my I don't want to show you guys my buns, but let's not talk about it. Just really quick before we welcome our next guest, Z, for anyone out there maybe that is wondering about this, like maybe wants to open themselves up, or is there anything that you would say to anybody before you go, or like anything else that you would like to share with us about your experiences?
So I think like if someone came to me about asking about that kind of thing, I would just say be very careful and set those intentions, because everyone has different abilities and different sensitivities to things. So just make sure that you're being safe, not unwelcoming anything that is dangerous, and just be mindful because I do believe like ask and you shall receive. So be careful what you ask for. So
that's good. Yeah. That's something to live by. Like just be careful. What you're getting
for sure.
into.
Because if you ask, it's like, well, if it comes and
then it's too late.
Yeah. So just be careful. And and thank you guys so much for having me on here to talk. This was super awesome and super fun. And I'm super excited to hear all the wonderful, more spooky stories that are coming. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Steve. And we'll welcome our next guest, Sharon.
Yeah. So we also have another wonderful guest, Sharon, who is joining us, who also is actually probably a little bit more in tune with this realm. Sharon, you're a medium, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and then we'll just ask you to just get a little bit closer to the mic. I know, sorry.
And I'm here with my friends who are also mediums.
Yes.
We got a squad.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And they will, I'm sure, will definitely be sharing some of their stories and experiences when we open the mic to everybody. In the crowd.
Whenever she brought up a Ouija board, I just saw all of them go like,
don't do it. Yeah.
No, I've also had a bad thank you, by the way, for having us all here.
Oh, absolutely. Our pleasure.
That.
Thank you guys for showing up.
Thank you. Many years ago, my sisters and I used to dabble with the Ouija board. I never really felt comfortable with it. So they would put their hands on it and they said, well, come on, you put your hands on it. And I put my hands on it and it wouldn't budge at all. It was just like it was grinding. I don't know what was going on. So my sisters asked it to spell out why it wouldn't move for me. And it spelled out because I'm afraid of her.
Whoa.
Oh. And I was like, okay, I didn't want to even get into it, what that meant at the time, because I knew I had this gift when I was a child. But because when you're a child, adults tell you you're imagining things. No, you're dreaming, you're imagining things, just push it away. So I pushed it away for years. And then I went to a hypnosis woman who regressed me into a past life. Just messing around with it, seeing what was going on. Because as I always felt things and heard things and actually seen things. I've seen animals. I mean, just like I'm looking at you in my house. And so I just thought, well, what's going on here? Is everybody seeing this? Is everybody, because when you're younger, you don't really think about that. So I went to this hypnosis and she hypnotized me and she regressed me back into a previous life. And as I'm going back into this previous life, this energy was shooting out of the side of my body and it was different shapes and sizes. And I could hear it. It was going shoo, shoo. And I could actually see it. And I asked her after, I said, what was going on? And she said, you're a very strong medium and you don't even know it. Wow. And I said, how did you know that this was happening? She said, because my walls were cracking. She said, when this energy was leaving you. So then she told me at the time, you need to either ask God to take this gift away from you, or you need to try to figure out to re-enhance it and bring it and embrace it.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, well, God's giving me this gift for some reason. So I Googled on the line and I found these people here. And I went to, one of the churches that we all had gone to at the time. And the first time I'm in the service, this medium asks me to stand up. She told me the exact same message that I had just got from the hypnosis. So I thought, well, I'm going to check into this.
Wow.
So you have multiple mediums.
Yes.
Is someone who hypnotized like a doctor? I guess they would be.
No, she was just a
hypnotist.
Yeah,
and
she specialized in that.
And you've had ghosts that have basically said like, you're a badass and you have a lot of power. And they're like, oh no, right. Ghosts want nothing to do with you.
We don't want anything to do with
That's crazy. That's crazy.
So why do you think it was when you guys were doing the Ouija board that they said that now that you have experience and you look back on it? Is it because maybe they weren't necessarily nice beings that were trying to contact through the Ouija board, or why do you think that was?
Anytime you mess with a Ouija board, you're not going to get good entities that come through. That's my opinion. And I think what was on the other side knew I had the power of God with me and didn't want to mess with that. So,
yeah.
And
I know.
I do want to tell you about an experience before I knew that I had this gift. My daughter and I had gone to, and she's in the audience, we had gone to a hotel actually was a huge, sort of like a old building in the 1910s. It was built, and they turned it into a kind of like a bed and breakfast. When you first went in, and this was in Door County. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Door County. It's in Wisconsin. It's on a little island called Washington Island. And the only way to get on this island is through a plane or a boat.
Oh my gosh.
That's the only way you can get on. That's the only way you can get off.
That sounds like the beginning of a horror movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I booked this. There was 8 rooms. And I get there and go up to the bedroom. There was no TVs in the bedroom. There was no dressers. All there was a bed and an end table. So I thought, okay, I had booked it with my parents. My parents had come with us. So we go down when I got to back up. When you first go in, I apologize to my friends that heard this story before, but
they start reciting it word for word.
When you first go into this building, it was a big white building with a big long porch on the front. There was like a desk that you went up and you checked into the desk. They did not tell us at the time. At 9 o'clock at night, the little staff that was there leaves and locks the door.
Thanks for that.
They didn't share that with us. I'm like, okay.
Where do they go? They're on an island. They just hop on their plane. They're like, peace, see you tomorrow.
Well, what happened was the staff stayed in the building behind. There was a little cottage that they would go and stay behind the building. So, which they didn't tell you that. So we're sitting in this. It was sort of like a big room where you could eat, and there was tables in there. And I just had this weird feeling come over me. And I asked the waitress to come over. And I looked at her and I said, is this place haunted? She looks at me, she goes, what? Yeah, why are you asking? I said, because I have a feeling. She said, what room are you in? And I told her, she said, that's the room. And I went, oh, great. So
of all the rooms.
Of all the 8 rooms, I happen. So she said, do you want to be moved? And I said, yes. So she said, okay, if the people don't show up, we'll move you down at the end of the hallway. So now think about this. The rooms are all upstairs. There's 2 bathrooms in the middle that all the 4 rooms on one side, 4 rooms on the other side. We all share the bathrooms, the 2 bathrooms. So the other people didn't show up, so they moved us down to the end of the hallway. And my daughter, she kept saying to me, Mom, I don't know why my brush keeps landing on the floor. I keep putting it on the bed. And this was the first room. And I said, well, I don't know. And I didn't think too much about it. And then they moved us down to the end of the hallway. Well, that night, she goes into the shower first. And then it was my turn. It was almost like I'm watching The Shining. I'm not kidding you. I'm hearing this pounding. I'm sitting out in the hallway and I'm hearing this pounding, this loud pounding around my head. And I'm like, what the heck is that? And this lady comes out to go take a shower. And I'm still sitting there. She comes out of her shower and she goes back. And I said, is there anybody in the rooms back there? And she says, I think so. So then my daughter comes out. Then it's my turn. We get up to walk to the shower. All of a sudden, blackout. All the lights go out. And I'm feeling my hands. I'm back up. As the lights go out, we hear these loud boots coming towards us. And her and I are saying, who's there? Is anybody there? No, come on. If somebody's there walking towards you, wouldn't they say, don't be afraid, it's us? You know, the lights are out, we can hear you. Nobody said anything. So I'm feeling my hands along the wall, trying to find out where our room is, finally get to it. We get in there, probably 2 hours go by before the lights go back on. Then the lights go back on. I go down, take my shower, go back to the room real quick. And my daughter is saying, Mom, I have the lights on. And she's saying, Mom, can we turn the lights off? I'm getting kind of tired. And I'm like, yeah, okay. And at the time I'm thinking, no, I don't want to turn the lights off. So we turn the lights off. And all of a sudden, this loud pounding goes around the whole bed. She's sleeping, so she doesn't hear it. I don't think she heard it. I don't know. She's saying no. This loud pounding is going around the bed. And mind you, I have an outside window. the branches are hitting the window, just like in this scary movie. The wind is blowing. It's pouring rain out. So I lay there another hour or two till the sun came up, and then I slept for a little bit. Then we went downstairs in the morning to the parlor and had some breakfast. Cut to make the story a little bit shorter. So then we get in the car and we're leaving the island to get on the car ferry. There was a car ferry, and you guys know what I'm talking about, the car ferry. We stopped to get gas, and I go in the gas station and I'm saying to the lady behind the counter, boy, that was a bad storm we had last night. She looks at me, what storm? We didn't have a storm. I'm like, oh my God, am I losing it or what? So then I didn't say anything. So I get on the car ferry. I still get kind of creeps when I think about it. I get on the car ferry, and there's other people that actually stayed on the island there too that night. I looked at them and I said, wasn't that a bad storm we had last night? I says, we didn't have a storm. I'm like, oh my God, I must be losing it. So then I get home and I Googled this building. And what I found out from Googling it was there was a sailor and his crew, when they had storms on the waters, because there's a water there called, do you know, it's called, what is that called? It's called...
Well, you talking about breakwall?
You know, where the boats, the ships all went down.
Oh, Death's Door.
Death's Door.
Death's Door?
Death's Door. There's actually a place there still called Death's Door.
Let's go stay on an island that's secluded called Death's Door. Does that sound fun?
Sounds like where you go with Scooby-Doo.
First, we're going to hit Shakopee, and then we're going to make our way to Death's Door. I'll make sure to get you a fridge magnet.
And this is true. There actually is a place. So
There is.
right. So when I Googled it, this particular captain used to take his crew there and stay in this building when they had storms on the water.
Oh my gosh.
And so that was, yeah.
So you think it was like their boots and it was the storm?
Yes.
Oh.
And I think because mediums are known to have like a light above our heads that a lot of people don't know of, that spirit can actually see it, and they are attracted to you. And that's how they know to, you know, that they can get messages through you to other people.
Yeah, you have a bounty on your head from all the ghosts. They're like, no,
Yeah.
we don't like her. She's way too, she's like Schwarzenegger. Just like, she ain't scared of nothing.
Bad spirit. Yeah. And you should always surround yourself with a white light whenever you do this, because then you don't have bad entities trying to reach through you.
So I think it was what, 2-3 weeks ago we met at the AZ Hunter. Oh man, Halloween Marketplace. Yeah.
Right.
And you were telling me a story. Actually, a couple stories, but there was one that you had mentioned about a cave that you were in.
Oh.
And I would love for you to share that story, because I thought that was just like so cool. Little ghost justice.
That
for
was in Bisbee, Arizona, and I went Carrie, my friend Carrie.
And we are definitely going to Bisbee. That is a trip coming up. If you guys watch our YouTube Scaredyquests, that's one of the things we're going to be doing. Just
Please subscribe. Thanks.
sorry, plug.
Little plug.
And it wasn't a cave. They had like a Masons gathering where once or twice a year they do the Masons gathering there.
Allow outside people into the Masons.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's only a few times a year that people
Right.
can come in.
It's
actually
open to
come
the
into.
public?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. So we had gone there and was part of it, and we were sitting in this room, and we were, you know, working with the meters and things like that. And there was a host that was talking to us, and all of a sudden, one of the Masons came to me and told me his first and last name. And I told the crowd, this Mason is giving me his first and last name. And the guy that was sponsoring it said, yes, we did have a guy here by that name.
Ooh.
And some smart aleck kid that was sitting probably from me to maybe the second row, he said real loud, well, why don't you bring in the rest of the 50 names? Well, do you remember that, Carrie?
Oh, yeah.
Well, all of a sudden,
The guy's wife.
right, and Carrie brought in his wife. The guy that I brought in, she also brought in his wife. Well, the other girl, she's not here. I don't think she's here. She saw an entity go behind this guy. She saw the shadow go behind this guy. And actually, the miner was saying other things. Mason was saying other things that I don't want to repeat.
That'll be for the after hours show.
Because they weren't very nice. And I was trying to put it in better, words like, please be respectable. But that's not what he was saying. He was saying, and I'm trying to be polite. And all of a sudden the guy got sick. And my friends saw him, the shadow behind him. And he said, I don't feel very good right now. And he got up and she said to him, were you the guy that was asking for those 50 names? He goes, yeah. And we all just started laughing because we knew exactly what happened to him.
Oh, man. To see the physical, and the reaction immediately, wow, okay, jerk, whatever. And then he just throws up. You're like, and you see the guy behind him, that's crazy.
Well, yeah, ghost justice, like you said.
Yeah, dude, shut up.
Now, okay, I asked Z a little bit about this too, but for anyone who's, maybe had an experience himself or maybe has always wondered, maybe I'm sensitive to this stuff. What would you say to them, or what can they look out for? Or how can they, be safe doing it? Or what kind of advice would you give? Or what did you wish that you would have known when you first were exploring this?
Well, when I first... You're scared. Let's put it that way. You're scared because you don't know how to act towards it. And the first experience I had when I was a child, and I can really relate to that kid from Sixth Sense, because that was me laying underneath the blanket, scared because I could feel them around me and not knowing what to do. So the best thing I could tell you is always surround yourself with the white light of, and when I went to this establishment where I found my friends, I learned there that you can tell them you have boundaries, because I could feel them in my bedroom at night. And I was always scared. I always slept with the TV on, which the TV is going to help you, but I always slept with the TV on. And then I started saying, this is my space. This is my time. You need to go. And if you want to talk to me, I'm here for you in the morning. I'm here for you whenever.
You're business hours only, all right?
Right, exactly. And that did help a lot.
Good.
Wow. But so would you say that I want, maybe not everybody, but you do have a power over them. They can't bully you. You can tell them if anyone from tonight, knock on plastic, that it doesn't happen, but then you could be no, it's not happening. Get out of here. You can say that, right? You can just kind of tell them not today.
Always
Satan.
Surround yourself with the white light of God, because then they can't, and I'm not saying that they're going to harm you or anything. I've never brought in negative energy ever. I mean, that's just me. And I don't know about my friends. I don't know if they've, had any, but they're all saying, no, they haven't. We've never really experienced negative energy.
Yeah. I can't wait to hear some of their stories and see if anybody else here has some crazy unexplained stuff.
Well, Carrie and I had gone to the Palace in Prescott on Whiskey Row. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that.
So what is Prescott?
Yeah.
Well, it depends.
Caribbean.
Well, but we got permission because one night I was watching the Travel Channel, and it was on there that they had a ghost story about that. So I just called up and talked to the manager and said, hey, my friends and I want to come down and go in the basement. And he's like, well, we don't really let people down there. I said, oh, come on, please just let us down there. We just want to go and da-da-da. So he said, oh, okay, come on down. So there was maybe 5 of us, 6 of us. Yeah, us 3 for sure were there.
So good size group.
Yes. And so we went down there, and a lot of people don't know, but there's actually like cages on the wall that looked like where they kept some of the prisoners, like the Chinese used to keep down there back in the day. Well, Carrie and I act like batteries off of each other. We get so many orbs, and she did bring up film so people can look at it if they want. We're just looking around, and all of a sudden, this little Chinese guy, and we got it on tape, he comes out and he looks at us, a video of it. He comes out and he looks at us, and then he goes back in real quick. Oh. And we told him, we were talking to him, and we said, you're safe with us, come on out. And he did come back out, and he looked at us for a few seconds, and then he went back in again.
But you never...
So, did you hear that?
Oh. I was like, oh, great. Here we go.
Oh, boy.
Like, we did not plan that.
First show, last show. Like, well, this is how we die.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Well, that's just absolutely incredible. And like you mentioned, we will be, if anyone has any stories that you'd like to share, and if you'd like to ask any questions, we will be opening up the mic.
You said you had video of this guy in the cave?
He's
in the basement.
In the basement in Prescott.
Like, you have it right now?
At the palace.
Can I see it? Okay.
Ooh.
Put you on the spot.
I'm going to get scared.
So when you're saying, while she gets out, when you're saying that you see these entities, do you see them as clear as you see these people? Because obviously in depictions and movies and stuff, it's not always so clear.
Yeah, they're like foggy or like an outline or something. Yeah.
Or does it depend?
For me, myself, I've never seen a person, but I've seen animals, just like I'm seeing you. And they're in my house. And one time I was doing dishes, and I actually stepped over a dog. It was a Cocker Spaniel. And to put something else on the counter there, and he ran, or she ran right into the wall. Oh. And I saw her just like I'm seeing you.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Well, I would say if anything was going to be at my house, I would welcome animal spirits to be around. That seems like the best
bring
haunting.
me your pet
dogs.
pictures.
Yes, please.
Let me see your dogs and cats.
Oh man.
Goodness. Oh, that is wild.
But when I'm hearing, when spirit comes to me, when I'm giving a message for somebody, I hear them. It's not like I hear their voice. It's like thought to thought. You know, they'll put a thought in my mind, in my head, and then I'll repeat what I'm saying to somebody. Or they'll bring me to the scene because I was giving my friends invited me to a Halloween party one time. So I said, okay, I'll go. And there was a guy that was sitting right next to me, off to the right. And all of a sudden I got this image of Vietnam. And I said to him, or said to was somebody in Vietnam? And the guy that was sitting to the right of me said, I was in Vietnam. As soon as he said that, I was on a helicopter. I was a gunner, and I could see the ground, and I could see people running, and I was actually watching. And I looked at him and I said to him, were you a gunner? And he said to me, oh my God, nobody knew that. Nobody has ever known that. And then all of a sudden I got a name of a guy, and I gave him the name of this. I said, there's this guy that's stepping forward. I can't even remember his name, Wilbur, or it was a weird name. And my friend was sitting next to his wife, and all of a sudden she went, oh shit. Ooh. And he said, yes. He said, this guy that you just brought up was in my platoon, and he took 2 stripes away from me. He said he was the gunner. And he said, for 40 years, I've been carrying this hatred for him. He said, and now I can just, because I told him, I said, he's asking for forgiveness to you. I don't know why. And then that's when he told me that. And then he told me that for 40 years, he's been carrying this guilt around. And he said, now I can finally let it go.
Wow.
So, just certain things like that always happen. And I'm sure my friends can tell you some stories that they have too.
Yeah. Can we see that footage? I'm like,
oh, man.
this is the real deal.
Okay, you guys are gonna see live action.
Wherever is safest.
Do you want her to come up here and I can move?
Yeah, that's fine.
Or well, you've seen it. I can go over there by then. Yeah, I've seen it for real.
Yeah, you were there.
She was there.
Okay.
Hopefully it'll show up with the bright lights on, because we were down in the basement of this.
Okay. Sorry, we don't have a screen. So maybe after the show, you'll be like, hey, can I see?
If we could plug it in there, maybe.
No, no, it won't work.
Anyway, we're down in the basement,
Okay.
and you can see there's where they used to.
They're down in a basement.
Yeah.
Show this to you.
Act it out. Act it out.
Yeah.
They used to have Chinese servants, and they kept them down in the basement, out of sight. They would cook for the people in the saloon or whatever, and then they would send it upstairs. And these right here are.
Talk into the mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's down here. There we go.
There you go.
Yeah, that's better. Okay. So there's like these little holes in the wall, and they had like grates up, and they would keep them in there after hours. We didn't know all about these Chinese servants. We found out afterwards. But here,
Okay, so there's stone on both sides.
There's stone on both
We have
sides.
Some pipes.
This place is
lot of
creepy.
pipes.
I can't see. I can't see.
it wasn't. We didn't feel scared.
I would be scared.
See the
Yeah. If you guys aren't scared, then I'm like, I'm hanging out with you because you guys will know.
You'll see a lot of orbs shooting too.
Yeah, you will. My mediumship is I've always seen auras.
Oh, there's some right there. You see the orbs?
I can't see.
Yeah, everybody's.
I know.
I know, like, oh my God, I'm waiting to see it.
Right here.
Okay.
See him?
I need my glasses.
See his little white hat and his little
Oh, that's a
beard.
ghost?
I can't see.
Yes, that's a ghost.
Yep.
Pass it over
Now
here.
watch him.
Wait,
I want to see the ghost.
Wait your turn. I'm closer.
He'll move in
Okay.
and he'll
Watch him.
move out.
Watch. He'll move out.
See the orb that just
It's very
shot?
dark,
Yep.
and there's a ghost.
Oh, like his eyes are like reflecting.
He's right there. Right here.
Yep. See him? He just moved.
And then he scoots over to the side. You'll watch him. He'll disappear. Once he sees us looking at him, he goes off to the side and out of sight. And we had to coax him to come back out. And there he comes back out.
Oh my God!
I couldn't see it.
Dude, it was crazy, man. It was like, whoa.
You think you guys
Let
are
me
freaked
see.
out?
Let
We're
me see the
watching
ghost.
this.
Yeah. You take.
blurry. Look, the whole thing went blurry.
I can't see. I can't see.
It is like,
Tilt it this way.
it's literally like someone.
All right, I'm with you guys.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly how he was.
Where?
No, come on, back out.
Right here.
Come back out.
Okay.
Come back out and say hi. Be friendly. Come on.
Watch, he'll come back out.
It does look like a flip. Oh, that's scary.
Well, let's get the audio off of here.
Oh my goodness.
Let me start it over so you can see.
Did you see him?
was like,
I know. I want to see it.
I don't see that after.
yeah.
I'll have to take a look.
I'm trying. I'm so ready.
Didn't you have something like this happen to you, Tony? You saw it on the screen where you had like you were at that place and you saw the two, and you were like, hold on, let me come over there and let me look at the video, and then you saw the two people.
Oh yeah.
See with the
Well, hang
naked.
on. Let me get through this first, then I'll tell that story.
We're only at the place to tell the story, but that's okay.
With your eyes, you can't see it when you're looking, but you
Oh,
can
right there?
you can capture it on
What?
on your phones.
So you guys weren't physically seeing?
He
No,
moves
we
in a
only
minute?
seen him on the phone.
Yeah, she said he moves over to
Only
the
through the
right.
phones.
Okay.
You can't see the orbs
back
either
out.
unless you see him on
Okay.
the
Wait,
phone.
no. Keep it over here.
Yep.
I see it.
Yeah, when we took the.
He's just like hanging out the side.
Right.
Almost
Exactly.
like he's holding
Yep.
on to something and kind of like
Yeah. Yes, he is.
When we took the phone down, we didn't
I want to see him move.
anything by the naked eye.
Oh. He like, oh, okay, all right, I got it. I just had my moment. I'm with you, girl.
See, those paranormal guys on TV have nothing over us.
No, they don't.
No.
I think maybe this is where we pitch you.
It's just chilling right there.
Yeah. But then it's like he kind of just like goes in a little bit and then goes back out.
Yeah, because as soon as he realized that we could see him,
You have like $1 billion in your hand. Like that's a ghost
The
right
real
there.
deal.
Yeah. And then when we were talking to him, we told him, "Don't be afraid of us.
Ultimate,
we're
yeah.
okay, we're not going to hurt you." And then he came out. And then
It's like
he was
if you,
looking at us.
it almost feels like an optical illusion because you're like staring at it, like, come on, do something, and then he like slowly move, and then you see him move back. You're like, oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Can people look at this after to see this? Because like it's pretty cool. It's kind of like you have to just like really be still and like see it for yourself. That's crazy.
Yeah. And what he was talking about, we were talking about before with what I saw. We were on like this ghost investigation at Pioneer
not
Village.
we.
Not
I was
we.
not
I
there.
was, Kelsey was there, I think. Oh no, Kelsey was not there.
Do you want me to go back down?
So we had a FLIR camera, which is basically like infrared. Okay. And we were in a room, and like the guy with the FLIR camera said, "There's two figures standing right next to you guys." And I was like, nobody move, because I want to see. So like I walked over and I saw like clearly the outline of my friend standing there, but then I saw like two, like it's infrared. So it was like
thermal.
They're like purple. Like they're not bright because they're not hot.
They're not hot.
But you could clearly see it. And I saw one like it raise its hand, like wave. I swear to God. Yeah. Well. And then I left.
Yeah. Man, I can't wait to have these experiences. This is why I was like, let's do Scaredycast. Want to go find Bigfoot, the roller skating dude.
After that story of like him just being able to rip things apart, I don't think I'm going on any Bigfoot adventures anytime soon. But I will definitely open my mind to maybe seeing a friendly spirit. I think that's where I draw the line.
As far as spirits go, I've said my story on the podcast about like the only weird unexplainable thing that's ever happened to me, but you guys don't want to hear that.
They'll just have to tune in because I think we're about time to open it up to the audience. I think.
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Sharon. Thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your stories. I'm sure you guys will be back. Thank you. All right. So I think, seeing a video that no one else can see, I think it's a perfect. No, I was kidding.
Yeah, I can't wait for people to see it. So the next segment we have is Q&A or comments or stories, whatever you guys want to talk about. We're here. You are on the air.
Thank you.
Give it up for Jeff, everybody. He's getting your mic set up.
Nice. Jeff. Also, I think your GoPro like hates us. It was like beeping back there.
That was like the perfect timing to scare the hell out of me. So
yeah, that was
thank
perfect.
you.
Does it work? Okay.
But yeah, of course.
Shove it in there.
We just want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, work it.
Yeah, both hands.
Yeah, work it.
We're talking about the mic, right? What are we?
Oh, yeah. The mic.
I think you guys are going back to your brothel story. I'm not sure.
Totally the mic.
No, first of all, we just want to say thank you guys so much for being here and for supporting. We obviously are a very small crew, but we are so lucky to have so many absolutely amazing supporters. And we hope that today was as interesting for you guys as it was for us. And just thank you so much to Z and Sharon and everybody for being here and for opening up your stories and for sharing with us. We feel very privileged. Thank you.
You just reminded me. I wanted to ask you guys if you guys see or feel anything here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is there any energy? What's going on?
There's spirits all around us.
Okay.
All that man is a spirit trapped in a physical body on the plane. Okay. So the Bible says that God made man in his image. Well, he wasn't some weird guy sitting on a throne with skin.
Right.
He was a spirit.
Huh.
Okay.
So we're the same.
So it's like,
give me chills.
So why couldn't we communicate?
Yeah. So like we all have that right now, but there's nothing like nothing coming to you, nothing like you're not really detecting anything extra.
I just want to make sure my mom's not here like glaring at me, wondering why my room is still a mess. So
it's like, you're 40 years old, Tony. Get your crap together.
Put the dishes away.
Ooh, all right.
I have a funny story.
Okay, well, then
Funny
here,
story.
let's-
Grab
Come
that
on
mic.
up.
Heck yeah.
It's not funny. It's just my mediumship is in. I can see auras.
I look at people and I can see their auras. Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's moving though. It's going down. It's going down.
Going down.
You might just hold it. Yeah.
Okay, I'll just.
Man, what kind of rinkamadoo kind of stuff we got going
It's
on
our
here,
first show,
guys?
man. Come on. First time out.
But I didn't know I could see auras. I just thought that what I saw when I saw people, I would see a halo over their head and it would have different colors in it. I would see areas in their halo that maybe had a dark spot or a gray spot. Yeah, I was little.
When you're just little.
I was little.
So you just thought this was normal. It's
I
almost
thought-
like having
I
astigmatism
thought
and you see lights like
everybody
a crazy.
saw them.
Okay.
Nobody told me they didn't.
Wow.
So I just assumed it's a normal thing.
Okay.
And nobody ever told me
So-
I could see auras until I got into a spiritualist church. And I'm like, really? Everybody doesn't see them?
Yeah.
So what happened when you found out that this was not something that everyone experiences?
I wondered why I could experience it. And through education, through spiritualism, I found out that everybody has different talents. Just like one person can play a piano and I can't, you know, and that's my talent. That's my gift from God.
Wow. So when you see what do the different colors mean? Just like a couple examples of.
That's variable because it depends on what the colors mean personally to me.
Okay.
Oh,
Makes
okay.
sense.
So like everybody
So-
has their own glasses per se, and it's like
Yeah.
what you see be different than what they see. I see.
Right.
Okay. Interesting.
So,
I feel like has that helped you in situations like? Did you ever
absolutely.
feel-
Absolutely. I can walk past somebody in a store and know whether I need to give them a smile or
Yeah.
fly a bird.
So they're like, what's this lady like flipping me off for? I'm just getting groceries right
So
now.
I have a question. If you guys, if anyone has a hot take on it, so to speak, a lot of times people will say that animals can detect like bad people, where like a cat just hates this person, and like of course if a puppy was abused by a man, maybe they don't like men or something. But like there's some times where it's just like, oh, my dog does not like this one person. Like, is there a connection there? The same kind of thing, or
I'm a dog breeder.
Oh, so
I breed
I'm
show
going to
dogs.
say yes.
Yes.
Okay. So like, what do you think it's like? Obviously you can't like necessarily talk to the dog, but like, what do you think that is? Like, what kind of power do they have?
They see spirits just as naturally as we should be able to. But we're told as we're growing up, oh, that's your imaginary friend. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't really see that, so you block it out. Animals are never told that. So why wouldn't they be able to?
wow. So there is a
And
connection.
animals are just the best.
Oh yeah,
They are.
They're just.
They
Well,
are.
thank you so much. Thank you
Yeah.
for sharing. Thank you.
Oh, there it goes. That's okay. We're good.
All right.
Does anybody have a story or questions or anything they would like to present to anyone?
And then if not, we can just let.
If not, we have. Did you want to try out that thing? Did you try out that game?
Yes, we can.
Can I share my?
Yes,
Absolutely.
please.
Please do.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys for being here. It's so my thing. I'm not a medium, empath. I feel a lot, but
You're gonna grab the mic and you hold on to it.
Yeah, just take it off the stand. It's much.
There you go.
you go.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wait, the plug. Jeff.
You grabbed it off the stand, that's for sure.
no, still nothing.
Being an empath
All right.
is
We're good.
We're good.
We got it. We got it. All right, here we go.
Yeah, I just.
Okay, so, for anyone who's not
I
familiar.
am a medium. I'm told
Oh, okay.
mediumship.
Okay,
Yeah.
so anyone that's not familiar with an empath, what does that mean to you?
I feel other people's feelings, their energy. Thank you. See, I'm not as in tune. And anywho, I'm like a battery.
All right.
What else? No, I'm just kidding. What color is my aura? The story I'd like to share is it's an orb story. My girlfriend came to see me after she passed. January 5th, 2014, she passed away. She had a daughter. She has a daughter, 21 at the time. Christmas came that year. The daughter stayed with me, wanted to spend Christmas Day with me. She couldn't go back home, just couldn't deal with home because of her mom. So Christmas morning, I wake up, go into the living room. I had a stocking for her. I have 3 kids. One of my kids is the same age as her. We had the stockings up there, and I was sitting there drinking my coffee. Dark Christmas tree lights were on, and something told me, get up, take a picture of the stockings. So I did. Took a picture, went, and it wasn't the old Instamatic, where you're looking through. It's out here. And I went to take it, and all of a sudden this big ball of light just lights up in front of Kate's stocking. Does this, and disappeared. And I do have that on camera, the orb. So instantly I said, thanks for being here, Karen.
Oh, man.
So it's real.
Yeah.
People talk to you. You just have to be open to it.
And that's so cool that it was a positive experience for you, because a lot of times you think ghosts are scary. They're there to scare you, or it's like, no, like how comforting was that, to feel like Jeff. But yeah, that's thank you so much. That's really cool. Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Oh, right. I see. Is that Ty? Is he coming up? Do you have a story? You got something? Oh, in a little bit. Okay.
Oh, he's saving it.
Wow.
Okay.
He's saving the best for last. So anyways, do you want to try out that little
I'm watching. I'm really invested in this, like the saga of the microphone hanging on or not.
I just want to say one thing.
Yeah.
If people want to get in touch, meditate. That's the best way to open up.
Okay.
Yeah, and through meditation.
So for anyone who didn't hear, she's saying if you do want to open yourself up to try to be able to communicate more or just open yourself up more through meditation. Okay, right, perfect. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, it's a good tip. I cannot meditate. My mind goes crazy.
It takes practice. It's one of those things. It's like, I mean, I've only practiced mindfulness, but it was like 2 weeks before I actually felt like, okay, this is doing something, because I did a lot of like counting and like breathing exercises. And then I found myself waking up thinking like the next morning and being like, oh yeah, I only remember counting this far. And so I was like, oh, it worked, and it's like, it took time though. It's definitely,
just like with anything, it takes practice.
Exactly. Practice makes perfect.
Yeah.
And it's literally just counting and breathing and stuff. And it's more of, instead of just like think of nothing, it's like, okay, but it's more of just like, how do I describe it? Like cars on a highway. It's like you see them going by, you see those thoughts, but you're like, I'm not going to get in that car. I don't care. Just let it go. Like it's like separating yourself from all that. And I know everyone here's been stressed or is stressed or whatever. And it's like, it honestly, it helped me through some tough times, because you're practicing being in the moment, not in the past, not thinking about something that might or may not happen. It's just, we're here right now. And this is how I feel, and this is what it is. And it's like when you keep it that cut and dry, that's, I don't know, kind of helps you feel like a little bit better,
Thank you, Dr. Brian. Beautiful.
I will be having a seminar next month.
Huh?
I have a story.
Go on up.
Yes.
Please, yes.
All right. Okay, yes. So our hostess with the mostest, yes, who introduced us, owner of the Gaslight?
No, executive director.
Executive director. Ghostlight Theatre. Perfect.
So when I was 19 or 20,
so like last year?
Oh my gosh, no. Nice. I wish. Thank you.
Nice.
You guys can come back anytime.
All right. Yes.
But I was living out in California, and one night I woke up and I couldn't, something felt really tight in my chest and I just couldn't breathe. And woke my boyfriend up and I was like, hey, there's something going on. I can't breathe. And he's just like, just calm down, you're fine. And my first gut reaction was to call my mom. My mom lives in Florida. I don't know why, but I immediately called my mom and she was mad at me. She's like, what are you doing? Why are you calling me right now? And I'm like, my chest hurts. There's something wrong. Yeah. And she's like, just go back to bed. Like, okay. So I'm laying there and I just don't know what's going on. And I'm starting to calm down, but I finally get myself to bed and my mom calls me the next morning and she's like, why did you call me last night? And I was, well, I couldn't breathe. And she said, do you know what happened a year ago? And I was like, no, I couldn't remember. And at the same time, a year ago was when my mom got called that my grandmother had passed away and she died from asphyxiation. So she couldn't breathe. So it was weird at the time because I was nervous. But then as soon as she told me that, I was like, oh, it was grandma. Okay. Oh. Yeah.
You could have just said hi.
Right.
Your grandma was trying to kill you? Or?
No,
Like,
I don't know like why why it happened like that. But it just
like like, thanks. Next time, grandma, like a phone call is just fine.
Yeah, you can just say hey.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That nothing else like that's ever happened since or after that or anything?
No, I haven't had anything like that happen. Yeah, so that was, I think after that, I was like, I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. But nothing else. That was enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously.
Wow, thank you for sharing. Oh my gosh.
Maybe
That's
it was
crazy.
Yeah, maybe it was her grandma that had the Ouija board things. And
Oh yeah.
We don't gotta put the mic up there. We
Yeah, just hold it. Yeah. Yeah.
Or the mic.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I'm all taking the mic away from you.
I've been a medium for a long time. I channel energy. I would go once a week with a couple of friends of mine, go over to their house. And I was channeling one night and I was out and then I finally came back in. They said, do you know that this little chair over there, they had a three-legged chair. It was shaking the whole time.
Whoa. Like the whole time you were there? Just
while I was in channeling, it was moving. And they're like, oh my God, we've never seen that before.
Whoa.
So why do you think it was that chair that was moving?
Just somebody was there and was just moving it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and it had never, it's not like it had like a weird leg or anything that was like always rocking back and forth.
No, they've had in the house for a long time. That was the first time that it happened.
Oh my gosh.
Like one time when I was in a class and I was channeling a woman like over here, probably a foot or two from me. She goes, is this really real or not? Is she really doing this? And a Coke can that she had underneath fell on the floor.
Ooh, she's like, there's your answer.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh my gosh. That's incredible.
Yeah.
You guys are, that's wild.
I've been doing that for a long time, so I'm used to it.
Okay.
You should tell them what channeling is. Some people
Spirit speaks through me.
Oh, okay.
That's what channeling.
Okay, so
That's what channeling is.
Okay. I was wondering if it was just kind of
Sorry.
opening the doors, but I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, so we got another person back there.
He's coming up.
That's for me.
Wow. I almost feel
Sir,
like
I have one question. Where did your hat go?
You were wearing a hat.
Because I've seen he's got like a.
Don't sorry. Go back and
that's fine.
get it.
Yeah,
Hold
I've seen
on.
this hat all night long. I'm just out of the corner of my eye, I'm like, that hat
There's something
is
shiny over there.
awesome. Yeah, I'm like a fish and I see a lure out there. I'm like, what is that? Here it comes.
It's so bright. Sun, step into the light. What in the world? Is that what I think it is? Is that a shark? Is that the two-butt sharkaroo? Oh,
So-
my.
Is this a
I knew
two-butt
there's-
sharkaroo hat?
It doesn't have two butts.
Okay, so for everyone else that's confused but us, on like the first or second podcast I was ever on with these two jokers, we had a story about it was like
volcanic sharks.
There was volcanic activity off the coast of New Zealand, and because of the volcanic activity, the sharks in the area had begun to mutate.
Because it was like they had to adapt to like the super hot water,
harsh.
Yeah. And they were like seeing all these deformities, and somehow we got on the topic of the shark having two butts, and somehow being mixed with a kangaroo.
Yes,
yeah, because it was in New Zealand, and you guys think kangaroos are in New Zealand.
Australia, but we screwed that up.
Close enough.
But anyway, so our mascot's always been a two-butt sharkaroo, and the hat with the that's.
Beautiful.
I'm glad you got it.
Thank you, thank you for dressing up.
I thought you were just wearing a shark hat over them. Like, oh, shark hat, cool choice. And then you walked up and like it was like the brim of the hat lit as you came into the lights. It was like, oh,
hello. It's like Bruce. So, do you have a story, sir?
I do. The story is not my own. I have not personally had a spirit encounter. I've had a lot of UFO sightings, but this is more along with like ghosts and stuff. This is my dad's story, which is strange because my dad's never really been into that stuff either. So my dad was an electrician for a hospital for 35 years. And this story takes place in like a surgical wing, and they had closed it off overnight so that the electricians and maintenance people can go into this room and do what they have to do. They had to close that whole like wing off, or maybe they only could do it when it was closed off. So it's like 2 a.m. He's working overnight, and only the maintenance people are allowed to be in there, have access to that wing, and blah, blah, blah. So he's working all through the night, but all through the night, he's hearing these people talking in the room next to him, and he didn't think anything of it. But then one of his coworkers shows up to like take over, and he's like, hey, who else is here with us? Like, they've been talking in the room next door for a long time, and I thought it was just supposed to be us. And he goes, no one else is in here with us. Like, he didn't have a radio or anything to listen to. He's like, it's just us in the wing, like on the, like,
no cleaners.
So he's
nobody.
like, that's my ghost story. That's what my dad said. He's like, they were clear as day having conversations for like hours on end, and there was no one else there. Like, no one around him in the entire wing of the hospital.
Was your dad like, I'm done with this contract? You can find someone else?
No, but he's like, that was definitely an experience he had.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't see him, but he heard him.
Wow.
You said you also mentioned a UFO story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, share one at least. Just give us one. Yeah.
I'll just give you my first one.
Sounds great.
I was like 9 or 10. It was Halloween. And we thought we were being clever. We were going to scare all the other kids coming up to our door. So we're like hiding around our carport front yard. And as these group of kids were coming up to ring on the doorbell, like, I'm hiding behind my dad's truck. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to scare him, you know? And so, but when I get up to go like towards my carport, I notice there's a light in the sky. And so I look up, and it's just like your stereotypical UFO. It's about like 1,000 feet above my house. And it's just like a red light in the middle with like yellow light, white light, yellow light, white light, like around the,
was it a
circumference? Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I didn't really know what it was, but it scared me. So I ran to go get my sister. I'm like, you know, come look at this. Come look at this. And she's like, we're not leaving our hiding spot, because they wanted to scare the other kids too. And so I ran back out and look up where it was, and it wasn't there anymore.
Oh, man.
And
it was
so
just hovering?
Yeah. It's stationary.
But
That
just
was-
like, yeah.
I was going to say, that was the aliens get back at you, scaring you, so you didn't scare the children.
Yeah. Basically.
Oh.
There's a lot of supernatural justice tonight. We need to write a show about this. like Walker Texas Ranger, but he's undead.
Next episode, TMC, Supernatural Justice.
Yeah. I have to take your picture with your hat.
Oh, for sure.
We're here for the Phoenix Lights.
Oh,
I remember those.
Phoenix
I was just a little kid.
Yeah.
But he's
As young as
been
I am.
fascinated with him ever since
that experience.
Relax. I just want to take some pictures.
Oh, don't Dahmer him right now. Oh,
Thanks.
You did not.
Ever
Has anybody
since
been watching?
I've been looking up in the sky, and I've seen some stuff. I've seen some. We're not alone.
Ooh,
No, we absolutely
leaves it at that. Drop the mic. Wow. We're not alone.
Anybody else got any questions, stories,
Yeah, or just want to talk.
rants?
We're lonely.
Just want to yell at us. If not, we're gonna
almost
wrap this bad boy up. We have one coming up.
Hello, Tyler.
Beautiful shirt, by the way.
Hello.
Love that shirt.
Star Wars.
I got a couple. One was I was in junior high school. One of the places I was staying. I grew up in Mesa. Lived in a smaller house with 4 people in there, so I always slept on like the couch and stuff. But no, I always look down the hall and stuff. I always just see people like walking back and forth between the rooms.
Nope.
Not your
Always.
people.
Nothing ever happened. Nothing ever. No slamming doors. No falling stuff. Nothing. Just in the middle of the night, just laying there.
Did anybody else
over the head
in the house
I have
notice
no
this?
idea. Never asked. Just one of those things you never talked about. So
Yeah.
And another thing, like Susan mentioned about the seeing pets clear as day. My dog I had from 2000, my sister actually stole her because he was being abused, and she passed away in 2014. But ever since then, and moving to several different places, I've always seen her like walking down halls and stuff. Yeah, so that was always something that Brian knows because we met just like a few months before she passed away. But it's moving different places and everything. People always talk about how it's certain spirits only stay with certain locations, but she always came with over like 4 or 5 houses so far. So yeah, that's what it was. Just, even though my sister got her and everything, got her when she was a puppy and stuff, she was always skittish and everything, but she always like right away she just took to me, and that's she's always been with. So
Wow.
Sweet. Even loyal in the afterlife.
Yeah, very cool. And that's like really comforting too. And like if everybody here like, has lost a pet before, like it's an awful feeling. Sure. Do we got enough cable for that?
Is it gonna reach?
Yes, it should.
Okay.
Nice. So we got the long cable.
Length matters.
I'm a medium, but also I am a healer, and I can see different problems that people have, physical problems, and I can tell them sometimes can be healed, sometimes they have to go to the doctor, but I can see it and I can tell you.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's cool.
Is there a story that you have of you seeing this and having someone go to a doctor and they had something happen?
Yes, that's one of them. One of them, I have a friend that has some problem with the knee, and the doctor said that the following day they were going to tell them to have surgery. She called me, she wanted me to go there, so I just went there and did some healing, but I just forget about it. And the next day she called me, she said she went to see the doctor, and the doctor told her, "What did you do? You don't need to surgery anymore, you're better." What? So she told the doctor, "Do you believe healing? If you believe prayer, I am prayer."
Wow.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh. Don't tell insurance companies about your gift. That's incredible. That's absolutely, wow. That's amazing. I wish I had some kind of mutually beneficial. Right? Wow. I'm sure your friend and her knees good still. Wow, man. Amazing.
Are we all okay, you think? Like, are we good?
She's like, don't know.
I get those like, you get those like hits in the chest every once in a while. And it's like, hey, here we go.
Here we go.
This is it.
For me, if I get the ring in my ear and I'm like, I lose my hearing, I'm done. This is it. This is the time. Yep.
Surprising. I've been a groomer, and I am grooming a dog, and I can feel something wrong with it. Legally, I can't do anything, but I can tell the owner to take the dog to the veterinarian.
Oh
yeah.
They come back to me, and 2 different people people recently. You saved my dog's life.
Oh man,
that's amazing.
What a cool gift.
That's awesome.
To be able to save someone's that's.
Do you have any gifts?
Me?
Yeah.
Gift a gab.
I think I got like a Jolly Rancher. You can have that.
All right.
All right.
I do not have a gift.
I don't
At least
either.
I don't know, man. I sit up and I talk about monsters. Let's play this game.
All right, so we're gonna play a quick game before we
Just
get
to
out
wrap
of here
it up.
tonight.
Just to wrap.
We talked about some heavy stuff. Let's end on
Yeah,
some
we've
laughs.
talked your guys' ears off a lot. We apologize. So we're going to end it with some laughs and just thank you again, everyone, for sharing your stories. I know it can be a little scary at times, but I'm glad that you guys feel that this is a safe space and we appreciate you guys telling your stories.
Yeah,
Thank
and you can always like email or you know comment on something or hit any one of us up in our DMs on Scaredycast, because if you want us to share the story for you, by all means. Like this is what our podcast basically is. A little bit of a lot of goofy, a little bit of everything. And we also talk about like movie reviews and stuff. Do not get Tony started.
Don't watch Halloween Ends. Just don't do it, man.
Yeah, it was a shame.
Don't do it.
All right, before we totally get off the rails with Halloween Ends, Tony, please explain this game.
So what's going to happen is Brian's going to pick a card. I'm going to pick a card.
Okay.
On these cards is a horror character. We're going to pick a black card, and on each black card is a weapon.
Okay.
And then the blue card is the setting. He will debate, and I will debate on why our character would win in a fight.
Oh.
You guys vote on who would win.
Nice.
So, Brian,
all right,
you pick your white card there.
I'm just going to...
You're going straight to the middle?
I'm shuffling them up.
doing?
You know, you always cut the cards, right?
Oh, my
This is like a horror clue.
Oh, yeah.
Like
So what is
live
Don't show me.
Colonel Mustard, Frankenstein.
So do I tell? I don't tell you.
Wait until you're all set. So I'll get mine. Now get your weapon here.
Okay.
I'll get my weapon. And the setting we're going to fight in.
No.
We're going to fight in a wax museum.
Interesting.
Okay.
There's, I think, wasn't Paris Hilton in a movie about?
She was.
House. No.
The House of Wax.
House of Wax. There it is. Okay.
That makes sense.
So you go ahead, Tone. Who'd you get? What'd you get? Uh-oh. What is it?
These were shuffled. I swear. They were all shuffled.
It's rigged.
You even shuffled that up in front of everybody. I got Bloody Mary, whose power is literally on the card, appears when someone says their name 3 times.
Stop. Okay.
Whoa. Mary, get out of here.
I don't even want to play anymore.
I mean, okay, well, this is going to be actually very good to hear your argument against that.
Okay, so
okay. Who'd you get?
I got Killer Marionette. Is that a Spanish dancer?
You got like the little
It's
puppet.
like a puppet.
Yeah.
Puppet on string.
Yeah.
What's the Goosebumps? The
Okay, so a Killer Marionette.
Night of the Living Dummy.
It's like, is that a flamenco dancer?
Yeah, I'm thinking like the fancy dresses, and I'm like salsa. Like, okay, gain strength by drinking blood.
Oh.
So my puppet gains strength by drinking blood, and Bloody Mary.
I am Bloody Mary, but I'm in a mirror, so you can't even get to me to drink.
I
blood.
win. I'm gonna drink you.
Ew.
I gain strength by drinking Bloody Marys. Wait, Bloody Mary. One of those.
Okay.
What are you gonna do to me? You're stuck behind glass, pal.
We need to set some parameters. Do you guys each get like 30 seconds to give your best argument of why you would win? And then we're going to...
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's hear it.
Well,
now, if you want to really mix it up real quick,
okay,
I can pull out the purple card, which gives us a circumstance of what's happening around us.
You want the purple card? Let's get the purple card. Hey, this is your game, pal. I'm just playing it.
Clearly.
We are in a fight. In the middle, the area we are fighting in is covered in bear traps.
Well, I'm screwed. You're in a mirror.
I'm in a mirror.
And I'm dancing around.
You're dancing around.
I get, wow, I'm done.
I didn't have to do anything.
Rigged. Let's do another one. That was crap.
Okay.
That was crap.
Fair enough.
I forfeit that one. There's nothing I can do about that.
Mine was too scary.
Too scary.
All right, I'll pick for you. You pick for me.
Okay.
Look, here's your person thing. Here's your whatever.
Yours.
Thanks.
Yeah, we need one that we can actually get some input from the audience.
Yeah, we need the audience.
I think Tony was being quiet over there, moving the cards when we weren't paying attention.
I got a good one. All right, what's the blue? Where are we at?
We're locked in a killer's basement. Okay.
It's in the bag. All right, go ahead.
I am H.P. Lovecraft,
the famous author,
and I can summon and command the undead, Kelsey.
All right, you might have got me on that, but
I'm gonna cry.
I'm a killer clown, baby. And I stalk and kill my opponents in their dreams.
Ooh, Freddy Krueger clown.
So you're locked in a basement.
We are both locked in this basement.
H.P. Lovecraft's a human. He's got to go to sleep.
He's just a dude.
And then I get you.
But you know what doesn't sleep?
The undead.
Zombies.
Yeah. So we're in this basement, and I just brought in all these zombies. What are you going to do, clown?
Nothing. Do zombies sleep?
I don't.
Wait. But H.P. Lovecraft does. So when he sleeps, I get him.
But the zombies are protecting me.
From sleep?
From you.
He can attack you in your dream.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but
let's ask the crowd. What do we think here?
Yeah. Thank you.
No. The killer clown stalks and kills opponent in their dreams. He's only exists in their dreams.
You're dead before you can stalk.
I think this calls for a purple card.
But he won't sleep.
The ground is slick with blood and gore. Wait, that helps.
All right, so let's get a show of hands here, and I'll let you be the judge. You count because you're probably better. I can't even read.
I'll try. All right.
Who says killer clown takes it? Okay, we have.
All right, we have some.
Okay. Who thinks H.P. Lovecraft gets it?
Undead.
And his undead.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think I lost.
Oh, dang.
Like that's almost like flip a coin.
Lovecraft slips on the floor, gets knocked.
He slips down, and then I kill you in his dreams. Yeah.
All right, fine. You win.
You want to do one more, then we'll end it?
The worst Walking Dead episode I've ever heard.
One more, then let's.
Okay, one more.
Here we go. That's yours.
You guys are like, I have thinking like we were just end up playing here all night.
You want to grab one?
I do not. Absolutely not. Yeah, seriously.
Here we go. We are at Camp Crystal Lake.
Ooh.
All right. I like Friday the 13th.
You sure do, bud.
Over an ancient Indian burial ground.
Okay. So the setting is we're at Camp Crystal Lake.
All right.
There's an ancient Indian burial ground.
Okay.
I'm Carrie.
You just Carrie?
Just Carrie.
Okay.
And I burn up.
Wait a minute.
She's Carrie. And I burn up in any amount of light. How is that a weapon? I burn up? That's literally what?
Yeah, you're fucked.
Ooh, I gotcha. I'm gonna set myself on fire. That's not a weapon. This is a weakness.
But you have telekinetic powers because you're Carrie.
It's always dark on Jason.
Okay,
It is
so I
always
have
really
telepathy and I can kill myself. What's your power?
If you're ever in a bind, you're just like, all right.
I can crawl out of a TV to attack my opponent, but I am also a Wendigo.
Okay.
What's a Wendigo?
Oh, and what a great question.
Thanks.
So
a Wendigo is a cryptid that lives in the legend of a lot of not miners, prospectors.
Okay.
A lot of times it deals with greed, but there's kind of like there's like two different kinds in a lot of these stories.
Like a dark leprechaun type thing.
Maybe. So it's kind of like imagine somebody that is obsessed with greed.
Okay.
They get when they turn into a Wendigo, which is I think by being attacked by another Wendigo, they're cannibals.
Oh.
A lot
I thought a Wendigo was like a ghost werewolf, or was that just a movie?
Probably just a movie.
Yeah.
A lot of times they have like deer antlers. They're kind of like forest creatures.
Yeah.
But Wendigos in the legend or the lore of like miners and stuff, when people would get trapped, if they had like a cave in, and when the people would start going crazy from hunger and the deprivation of light, they would start cannibalizing. And then the legend is you turn into a Wendigo, powered by greed and the hunger for human flesh. So he is basically a bloodthirsty miner that can crawl out of TVs.
Yeah.
And I just die.
Yeah.
Yeah, if that TV turns on, you're fucked.
But I can move the TV.
I like this.
What if I just turn the TV off?
You can't.
Why not?
I've already crawled out of it.
So then what can I use with my telepathy? What do I do with that?
There's no TV on the lake.
Oh,
yeah. Is there any TVs there?
Yeah, there's just like
There's no TV over it.
no
and Camp
TVs.
Crystal Lake. Yeah. Is there any
So
TVs
Tony's
out
not
there?
even showing up.
I'm going to say that it's 2022. There's TVs in everybody's pocket.
Crawls out of cell phones? What is this?
You can watch TV on a cell phone these days. I just crawled out of your pocket.
Oh.
So I'm Carrie.
Yes.
All right. So then what I do is I wait till morning. And while you're
Why does all your fighting involve waiting for something like I'm your opponent? I'm going to come get you.
I'm going to burn up in the sun and I'm going to take you with me. I'm going to just self-immolate. We're both going to die.
So that's what you're going to do. I'm just
What else am I supposed to do?
I just crawled out of your pocket and I eat you.
I guess, or I use my telepathy and I take the phone and throw it into the lake. And I'm like, screw this.
Fair
Can
enough.
Wendigo swim?
I don't think so. I don't know.
This game sucks.
On that note, I think you guys are both winners.
Why couldn't I get armed with a hacksaw? Rigged.
Okay.
Anyways,
we do not own this game, but if you guys want to buy it, it's called Superfight. Yeah. So while we wrap up, Tony, if anyone wants to connect with us or if they want to follow along on our journey of Scaredycast, where can they do that?
If you go to scaredycast.com, scroll to the very bottom, you'll see icons for all of our social media on Facebook and TikTok and Instagrams and Twitter and everywhere.
Also on the banner outside, we have a QR code. If you scan that, it'll take you to the thing and it's super easy.
As well as flyers and to, I mean, obviously your guys' support here, just being here tonight, it's been so amazing. Like we mentioned at the beginning, this is our very first live show and we couldn't have asked for a better audience.
Seriously. Give you guys yourselves a round of applause.
Yeah.
Like, thank you so much for driving. I know a lot of you traveled a very long way.
Who drove the farthest?
Oh yeah. Who
came some distance?
Anthem? Okay, that's where you're from.
I'm from Anthem.
Okay. Anybody?
I live by
South
Fry's.
Mountain. That's pretty good.
By the Fry's.
Santan might take the cake.
Woof.
I might take the cake. But you're our producer, so you kind of have to be here. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Like we were so worried that no one was going to show up. So
and new episodes of the podcast drop every Monday on Spotify, iTunes,
whatever,
Google, anywhere you can find a podcast, it's there.
We also have some merch if you care, and hang around if you want. We'll be here. We're gonna go mingle.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much.